very quickly, section 7-101, the charter, the planning commission was recommending the addition of the words "or charter." Is staff recommending same addition?
We concur.
We have in our school board agreement, when they built the most recent schools in the city, a prohibition on the city running a charter school. And I guess we can't, we're not prohibiting a privately run charter school from coming in, or how do we make those two things fit? Because they didn't want charter schools coming in to compete with the brand new schools that they just built. Alonzo Morning High, Arch Creek Elementary, the new North Miami High.
And
It's really making sure. Well, let me let the attorney answer that.
I think I'm familiar with the issue you're talking about, Vice Mayor. That agreement says that the city can't bring in a
Yeah.
a charter school, but doesn't mean that a private entity couldn't bring in a
Absolutely.
charter school.
because
Okay.
because
Thank you.
Councilman, I had it, and also it says that the school cannot compete with North Miami Senior High School. So in District 4, we open for business because we do not, half of the students, which they should have changed their boundary, should have been going to North Miami, which was, and it's not the case because half of them, majority of them go to Central. So we are not part of that particular agreement that they had within the school system. They kind of forgot about us, which is
No,
good.
They changed
We
that.
as the city,
Nope.
you know,
They did.
We did not, our boundary still remain, and I had several conversations with the school system, where north of, anything west of almost Second Avenue goes to Central.
We got permission
I
that
know.
any child in the
North
North Miami
Miami.
city limits could go to the North Miami
They
Senior
were
High.
supposed to, and they didn't, so kids from Gratney and Ben Franklin, their homeschool is, Central.
we need to have a presentation at the next council
Absolutely.
meeting
Thank
on
you.
that.
I
because
agree.
We
did.
gave them the land with the express condition that every kid in North Miami would be able to go to North Miami Senior High School. So they should not be, obviously kids have choices now that they didn't used to have, but we should make sure that the boundary isn't being
And this,
drawn.
this was brought up when we talked
And I
about the
just-
charter school.
One last question then on 7101. There is language that addresses auto showrooms. Sorry,
So they need to vote on it.
Sorry,
Was
I'm
there a vote on the charter? I'm sorry, Mr. Vice Mayor, do you guys vote on the charter amendment? I heard a discussion.
I'm sorry.
Was there a vote on that charter language? In the definition of schools, it
No,
says to add charter.
no motion was proffered. We'll go back and look at the
Just a
language.
discussion,
Page
okay.
38 or thereabouts under retail, under R.
There's language that the planning commission was recommending versus what's in here. What is staff recommending as it relates? You concur, automobile retail showrooms on less than 1 acre shall be displayed. It's okay.
You're in article, yeah, for retail showrooms. Let's go back to R. Retail showroom, okay, we're there.
That's 7-101.
So on that one, currently in the code, there's a prohibition on the
Now, what does the
boutique type-
definition say?
The definition
Of show-
for
of
retail
auto-
showroom,
Yeah.
it's a boutique type of operation where you have cars on a limited basis. So you have 20 is what the code restricts it to now. Plan Commission's recommendation is that you leave it open to the DRC to make the determination as to how many cars can fit on that lot. Staff's preference was to see a fixed number. Planning Commission said, let the DRC deal with putting the number on
And
that
is the DRC
approval.
now the city council?
Correct.
Okay, you guys have. Right, but we've opened up, we just took every council meeting and
We're
made
in
it go to
definition,
1 a.m.
so
like
I'm
this
dealing
is
with
going
it.
tonight. All right, here's the question I have.
About the
Automobile
20.
retail showrooms. I'll name one. Fiat.
And
On
the
less
one that
than
deals
1
with
acre
20.
shall be for display and or sale only without servicing of any kind. They do have a little service room of some sort back there. I've never taken my car there. I think they do most of their servicing up on Dixie. Does Fiat, are they impacted because they're so small?
Fiat is impacted on the definition of retail sales and service.
Right.
So the recommendation says, have it be limitless and determined by the DRC. Your code says limited to 20. So
Right, not talking about the storage of cars, it's the service of any kind.
It's another definition.
they're supposed to have service off-site, is what their approval was based on, the current Fiat site.
What is that page you're on?
They wash cars there. Is that
That's
No,
not
we're
service.
talking more about oil change, getting in your engine.
Now let's talk
types of
about the
service is
Ocean
what your code
Cadillac
talks
site, the
about.
old White House Inn. Is that 1 acre or less?
It's exactly 1 acre.
Okay. And this just only applies to those that are less than 1 acre.
So,
Hold on, I just got to make sure I'm understanding. Because their whole thing, if they were to bring it back, was contingent about having some servicing on like the second floor, the third floor.
Okay, he's asking me a question, so I have to listen to the question.
What's, I'm sorry.
Our attorney wants to ask for clarification on the question, so if you
So
could
there's
restate the
two
question.
definitions dealing with automobile sales and service. One is retail showroom, and the other is retail sales and service. So one of them deals with the 1 acre size with if it's less than 1
He went
acre,
from here.
that's no service of any kind. The other one deals with the number of vehicles on site. So I'm just trying to clarify which one we're talking about.
He was speaking on the first, now
I'm
he's at the
referencing
second.
the highlighted site, the highlighted section that was given to us
I'm
by the
sorry,
planning
I don't-
commission, I guess.
I don't,
I think it's what's in your hand.
So the planning commission made reference to both. The one that we just discussed related to retail sales and service, and I mentioned about the 20 cars. Now you've moved on to the acreage question.
I'm gonna wait till we get everybody on the same page.
Mr. Manager, we have to continue, please. Let's not split the meeting because it's.
Sure. All right, do we
So,
have
yeah, but we can't
clarification?
do it
Mr.
like this.
Manager, Mr. Mayor, through you to the manager. Mr. Manager, do we have clarification as to what section we're talking about now?
You're on the bottom one now.
No, I'm talking to about the one that's about 5 up from that, second down from the top. I'm talking about. It's the one that references without service of any kind.
thank you, sir.
I don't care, I'm not asking about how many cars they can show. And
Yeah.
that's not why I brought up Fiat.
He's clear.
I'm talking about the section that says without without servicing of any kind. So is washing cars
The sense
considered
was if the
service?
site is less than an acre, they shouldn't also have service on it because of the adverse impacts on adjoining properties.
Okay.
So it was a limitation, it was a recognition that there could be sites less than an acre, but remove the service component so there's no impact.
Okay. Now, if the site is 1 acre or greater, does that section apply to them?
Or the section as a whole, definition as a whole would, but this sentence only applies to less than an acre.
Okay.
There's a
If-
limitation.
If somebody comes with a brand new auto dealership to this city, not an existing one, but a theoretical brand new one, and I used the Ocean Cadillac because that was something that they had mentioned, that they were gonna put in a 7-story facility, and that servicing would only be done on floors 2 and 3 so that none of us would have to see, smell, or anything like that. Would they still be allowed to do that with their property being 1 acre?
This says they could have minor vehicle service, is what your definition currently says.
Okay. How about Lexus?
a different category, because they're
Different.
different category. They're considered vehicle sales and service. So they're not considered retail showroom. So they can have the vehicle services, the oil change, the engine repair, and all the other things associated with it.
Okay, because when you say they're in a different category, is that what you said?
Yes,
What
they're
category
defined
are they
as
in?
vehicle sales and service.
Say again, I'm sorry.
Vehicle sales and service, because they're in the M1 district, even though they're visible from
Is
Biscayne
it the
Boulevard.
M1 district that makes them different than the White House inside?
District allows them to have that use
Okay,
that the White
that's-
House inside couldn't have.
Gotcha. I'm just curious because I expect that Ocean Cadillac's gonna come back, and I didn't know if we were gonna have written something, or maybe it's not gonna be Ocean Cadillac, maybe somebody else comes to another location. But I'm trying to get clarification now so that we don't deal with it later. Thank you. No other questions on section 7?
Mayor, any additional amendments to Article 7?
I like the idea of the maximum number of automobiles doing a showroom. I'm assuming that's what it is. Is that the recommendation? Their recommendation is to remove it, which now it's currently within. I do like the idea of, and that will eliminate. I guess them bringing it to the design committee. Can we? I like the idea of having a number
Sir?
instead of yes, sir.
Actually, it says
Vehicle
outdoor
sales and
display,
Oh, outdoor.
not
Okay.
showroom.
Okay. So, and this is
That's the first
7101.
The previous definition.
That's the first
Page
one.
38 at the top paragraph, in the middle of the paragraph.
What's the word that's,
Outdoor,
So,
the question is how many,
outdoor.
the question was, is it a maximum of 20 vehicles as specified? Or is it a number that should be set by some process, and it was recommended that that
No,
process
no.
be DRC review?
I'm sorry, I'm lost because I don't see it on this. Are we still in definitions? Article
Yes,
7?
we're at the previous.
what is the, what is
Definition.
the,
of retail.
7-101,
It's
all
under the
101.
definition retail sales and service,
Retail sales and service. 38.
37 actually.
37. I was reading it from here.
You see the second paragraph?
It's the first paragraph. At the bottom.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Retail sales.
So since I like it, I guess no change over here. Never mind. Thank you.
I just have a quick question about that section. Is Tanya, are you with me? Under the current code, can you allow a used car lot to be on Biscayne Boulevard? Okay,
Yeah, that use is not permitted in
In that-
C2VE or C2VW.
it's still the same, right?
Correct.
But wait. Is it allowed in, where is it allowed? Is it allowed? Other places in the city? You know,
You have
Where's
vehicle
Dixie, of
sales and
course.
service that is allowed in the C1 district, and that's areas along.
Please remove that
Dixie.
for me, please.
It's prohibited in the 7th Avenue district, though.
I thought we settled that, Nixon, as part of the different, the car repair and is that part of that? Or that's different?
I mean, currently in the C1 does allow for those, but I think, for the Chinatown within, they will make an exemption.
Okay.
Because not just 7th Avenue is C1, we also have Dixie and 119. So those are the major C1 corridors in the city.
Okay, so what you said I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. It just blank, that means it's prohibited. right
Okay,
now.
thank you, okay.
No, P means permitted.
Mayor Joseph, any more amendments to Article 7?
Put on red.
just what
No,
prohibited.
it's permitted,
with
it's just
special.
exempted, except on.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve section 7 as amended.
Article.
So, okay, I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve Article 7 as is, because it wasn't amended. And do I have a second to that motion?
You did. You did,
I
sir.
have Councilman Desime seconded the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passed with
I'll make a motion to
5-0.
approve the LDRs in
I
total.
think I gotta read it into the record, brother. Tab J, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, Mayor, with your permission? Mayor? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read tab J. Proposed ordinance, first reading of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, repealing in their entirety chapter 3 entitled Alcoholic Beverages, chapter 20 entitled Tree Preservation and Protection, and chapter 29A entitled Wireless Telecommunication Towers and Antennas of the Code of Ordinances in effect prior to the effective date of this ordinance, and amending chapter 29 entitled Land Development Regulations in the form attached as Exhibit A, providing for an expanded and consolidated list of definitions of terms and clarification of powers and duties, establishing a new zoning appeals board, new zoning districts, and a new official zoning map to provide consistency with and implement the city's adopted 2015 EAR-based comprehensive plan amendments, and more specifically, the 2036 future land use map of the future land use element thereof, updating the consolidated table of permitted uses and the consolidated table of development standards, providing for new transition and sustainability design standards and more streamlined development friendly procedural requirements in accordance with the applicable sections of chapters 163 and 166 of the Florida Statutes 2016, providing for repeal, conflicts, severability, codification, and for an effective date. Do I have a motion to approve tab J as amended?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Galvin to approve tab J as amended. The motion was seconded by Councilman Desime. Roll call vote. Councilman Desime, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
No,
and Councilman Bieneme.
Yes.
Item passes with a 4-1 vote.
Do we have any reports?
Mayor, one more thing. We need a motion to approve the zoning map also.
Oh, yeah.
That is zoning map.
Move the approval of the zoning map.
Second.
Is that a roll call vote or what? Because I don't have a. Okay, so I have a motion to approve the zoning map, and that motion was made by Vice Mayor Galvin, and the motion was seconded by Councilman Desime. Councilwoman Keys, how do you vote?
yes,
Councilman Bieneme,
Yes.
Councilman Desime,
Yes.
Mayor Joseph,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Yes.
Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much, city staff, consultants. It was a very well detailed and planned studies that you did. We really appreciate all the work and the hours, sweats, and everything that you put into this. Thank you very much. Now we will entertain citizens forum.
Motion to approve.
Citizen forum is now closed.
Not going to take much time. Kevin Burns, 2065 Alameda Drive. Thank you all for doing this. It's been a long time. Congratulate staff. There has been a lot of things. One of the things that Mr. Galvin, so that they bring it up at the next meeting, is a reoccupancy. It is hurting real estate sales in this city because what has happened is people will have their house re-inspected and then somebody else sells it and it's re-inspected, and they'll find something wrong that was done 20 years ago, and then it's being resold the third time, and all of a sudden they're saying, oh, it's illegal, but there's no way to fix that. So go back to the original meeting of what we're supposed to do. Also, the reason now why they allowed laundromats on Biscayne Boulevard, if you don't mind. Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Councilman Ross had a conversation, I'm sorry. The reason we put in, or the board put in laundromats on Biscayne Boulevard, why is a laundromat okay in one neighborhood but not in another neighborhood? I have to wash my my animal comforters and so forth. Why should I have to go to 7th Avenue or Dixie Highway when there's quite possibly nice laundromats along Biscayne Boulevard? I don't think we should segregate something like that. Long enough. You guys did a great job. Thank you for doing this, and move on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Councilwoman, Council people, Mr. Manager, Mr. Attorney, and the entire audience. My name is, wow, it's not good. My name is Camille Merelus, 13015 Northwest 7th Avenue, and I'm in charge of American International Relief, known as Sauvager Foundation. I'm here to address an issue of highest importance for the country of Haiti and for 58,000 countrymen who are under temporary protective status. I'm sending you an invitation to participate at a special forum that we are doing this coming Thursday, June 29, at 7 p.m. at 13015 Northwest 7th Avenue. We are not seeking to do anything against what the Department of Homeland Security already did on May 22nd. What we are doing is to make our countrymen aware of the obligation to reapply before the 60 days, imposed to them by the department that will be expired on July 22nd. We are here to seek your help because, as an organization, we did our best.
Yeah, we have to limit it to 2 minutes.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
So,
anyway,
can you give us the date again, date and time, and the address?
June 22nd, on Thursday. This coming Thursday. In 2 days.
June 22nd. No.
The 29. June 29.
Okay.
Where?
Thank you very much. It's in the left.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
I agree with you, gentlemen. Okay, sir, Mayor, Council, with regards to Section 5408, 1408A, 1F, A1E, and AC, parking garages. This is something that I'm really concerned about, and I've been complaining about this for a number of years. We got the LA Fitness parking garage. Right now, what's that doing? It shines right into the residential area. You got these high poles. You can't enjoy your backyard. I have a parking garage behind me. It's absolutely terrible. Nobody commented on these. We made some modifications here that in all residential areas, these should be brought up to standards. Not only just R1 and 2, but all residential areas of the city. It's not fair to the people in Keystone. It's not fair to the other people that live in high-rises that they got to stare into a parking garage. And we put in here that they have 4 years to bring it into conformity. And also any new construction. I mean, the last thing you want to do is go home and stare into a parking garage. That LA Fitness over there, that parking garage, when you're looking at it from Keystone, is an absolute nightmare. And any of these, please review those and look at that. We brought this up at staff. We made some modifications to it. We brought it up at the Planning Commission. I don't know why it wasn't endorsed or they didn't have the chance to look at that. Also, with regards to certificate of occupancy, Scott, that's on page 22, subsection E. And there was a little bit of confusion. We asked for a design review board that is separate of the development review committee. The design review board would be consistent of architects and people in that, and we have the whole ordinance laid out. We borrowed the one from the city of Miami Beach. Please look at it. The reason that we brought this up is that, gee, we look at our buildings going up over here, and they look like they're very sterile. There's nothing to it. You know, Mayor, when you came in the office, you said, we want to jazz it up.
To be honest with you, I looked at the parking garage issue. We just couldn't decipher exactly
I beg you,
what
please.
was the intention. So we have a second reading scheduled. So
Okay, thank you.
already-
Thank you. Those
yeah.
there, and as soon as we can, let's look at the zoning map and make some text changes. We have this transportation overlay district coming in, and it's, I
Okay.
mean, it's something that we can be
Alrighty.
really proud of. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. There's a reason why everything looks so sterile and dull and outdated. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer all the time. All the time. But it's because there's no incentive. There's no reason to come to North Miami and do something good. We go through these mind-numbing exercises. We get together, we go to all the damn workshops, we get together the words, we put them on the wall, we look at the wall and look at all the stuff we're going to do, and then we get a word cloud. A word cloud. And then nothing gets done. And it's a joke. It's an insult to everybody. And I don't understand how nobody gets it. We've done this exercise again and again and again. You look around the city, there's nothing here that couldn't be leveled to the ground. Zero. There's nothing here of substance. We don't have, I'm a historic preservationist. I've helped create a preservation location. I've worked in cities, all the rest of this stuff. We can start from scratch here, and yet we're dealing with minutia. The laundromat, this, that, oh my God, you've completely missed the forest through the trees. And it's such a shame. There's nothing here inspiring. Zero. There's no great hope for anybody coming in and doing something nice or getting a corporate headquarters or something. It's such a shame. We have a few nice schools that were built, not due to our city, but due to Kevin Burns and due to our school district. That was nice. A nice start. Did it do anything for the rest of our city? No, we're still spinning our wheels in the same tracks. And, you know, something as simple as what I've mentioned many times, but we've not added parks, we've not added extra density, we've not encouraged new development. There's nothing there. And it's such a shame. And we get this illusion of trying to create, whether it's a Chinatown or this or that, and it's just not going to happen.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Citizen Forum is now closed. Thank you very much. Any reports? No report. On the dais? I think there is one announcement from...
It's just very brief. Stephanie and Gertie convinced the Commission on Ethics to come here and conduct a training with our elected city clerks. With the most recent elected officials, but it is open to the public. All the elected officials are encouraged to be there. 3 are required to be there, and it's open to the public. If you have any questions, just come by the clerk's office. It's Thursday at 6:30 through 8:30 p.m. right here in our council chamber. Thank you, Mayor.
This is one of the ones we have to do, right?
The 3 who just got elected, you are required to get this done. And for those who weren't recently elected, but we are elected, we are highly encouraged to be there because laws have changed.
Okay, motion to adjourn. Second. Thank you very much. See you guys in 2 weeks.